All right, so welcome, Libba. We are so glad you're here at the Be the One podcast, and you are one of our 2023 distinguished alumni. So congratulations on that honor.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so tell us, for our listeners, a little bit about who you are and your story and your family, and how you came to be here.
Okay, well, I'm Brookstone class of 2005.
Okay.
I am married to not a Columbus native. He's from Eufaula, Will Dillion, and I have two boys, Wells and Graves. Wells is in first grade, and Graves is in 4K.
Oh, that's so fun. They're so precious, too.
I know. They're growing too fast. I hate it.
I
hate
know.
it.
It goes quickly. Well, okay. So, and tell us about your job and what you do and all
well,
those fun things.
I have multiple jobs, is what one would say. My full-time job is at Malone Office Environments, which I focus on commercial contract design and furniture. And then an offshoot of that, I have Park Place Interiors, which is in Midtown, which focus more on residential furniture, gifts, and then a family business of Fountain City Coffee, which really the main focus there is my brother, who is also a Brookstone alumni. And then we have two locations there. And then my husband owns a moving company, 2 men in a truck. So we just kind of
have a lot of things.
Yeah, we're all over the place. I kind of feed on chaos. So
I can relate to that in every way.
So,
well, those are all fantastic things to be involved in, but also wonderful parts of our community. So, you know, we're thrilled that you are involved in all those things. And so tell us, I guess you don't have a typical day, but if you had a typical day, what does a typical day look like for you?
Well, I will say Will drops off the kids, so it's on his side of town. So every morning I do start my day at Fountain City Coffee. I couldn't fuel it without it. So I would say I start down at the coffee shop, and then I go to Malone's, and I'm kind of there most of the day. But during lunch or a little after lunch, I usually go by Park Place and check on my wonderful staff over there that kind of really helps that go for me. So I go and check on them, and I never know what day my day holds.
Right. We say that around here too. Like no day is really the same, and you never know kind of what's going to unfold here at school. And so, well, did you always know you wanted to be in interior design?
Well, yes, I would say that just growing up, watching my grandmother, like I loved watching her always rearrange her house and, make it beautiful. And, yes, I just always loved interiors, and it's something I really wanted to focus on. And when I got accepted to Auburn, they had a CETA accredited program that they only took about 35 a year. So I was very grateful to get in that program.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, and I love what I do. I have no regrets.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what your goal is. That's what you want your goal to be, is to love what you do.
Yeah.
And enjoy every day, no matter what comes. So.
Make things beautiful. And when things are beautiful, people are happy.
I know.
And,
that's got to be one of the most fun parts of your job, is seeing the end result and seeing how happy clients are.
I always have, like, my installers came in this morning, and I was like, okay, well, what did Jan Pro think of their conference room? And he was like, I think they were happy. I was like, well, they didn't, like, scream in excitement? Like, like, the chairs were fabulous. But, so, I like making people happy. It's the best part of the job.
That's awesome. So, tell us one of your favorite memories about being here at Brookstone. Because were you here the whole time, or how long were you here as a student at Brookstone?
I was a lifer.
Okay.
And it's interesting. So my mom was actually one of the first graduating classes
Oh, really?
at Brookstone.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
my mom went here, and so I was lucky that she was able to send me to Brookstone. And, I really don't know that I can pinpoint any memory because it's just the whole environment. And it was so important for me to be able to send my kids here. And a lot of times when I pick up my kids, I'm like, look at this campus. Look how lucky you are. I mean, it's such a community that still, to this day, I mean, it's just the experience of Brookstone in itself. The teachers, it's just so personable. It's a family. And it's just the environment I wanted my kids to learn, thrive, and grow up in. Right. It was very important to me.
I love that.
And I'm glad it's happening.
I know. I love that. I feel the same way because it's such a unique perspective to look back at Brookstone, your years as a student, but to look through the lens of a parent and experiencing Brookstone through your children, it's just so wonderful. I mean, it's just such a different perspective.
Yeah. And I also think that Wells, my oldest, when we went to kindergarten and first grade, we have had some newer teachers, and just to see their perspective of Brookstone coming from different schools, that they're just hands down, this is amazing, like compared to other, and that's just very comforting that like, it's worth the investment to send your kids here. And
it's very affirming.
Yeah, it is.
Because we do hear that all the time from new faculty that are just like people who've been here for a long time, it's human nature. You tend to take things for granted.
Absolutely.
And, but just to have your eyes opened as to what an amazing place this is.
I think that was very fortunate that we had those teachers, and just to hear that from them, it was,
Oh, that's great.
I never had any doubts that Brookstone was not the one, but, just the affirmation.
Yeah, just the affirmation.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so did you have a favorite class? I know you don't have necessarily one particular memory. Or teacher?
Of course. I love Dr. East.
Yes. Yes. He's fantastic. We love Jim East.
And then just like on my design path, I will say I was fortunate to have Mr. Dozier as my art teacher.
Yes.
And, he's the one that when you started his class, you had to go through the whole perspective, which is a basis of design and architecture, is the perspective drawings. And I remember he was like, you were excelling at this, and he made me focus more on perspectives before I got to do all the color and all that. Like, he really made me focus on that a lot longer than the others, because he saw that I could do that well. So I'm grateful for him to he kind of maybe pushed me more on that path of design.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
and we hear that so often. I mean, we have a lot of alumni in the artistic world.
Oh, I know.
And it's really phenomenal. And I would say statistically, we have a lot for the size of school that we are. But so many of them have given credit to our high school art teachers and how they pushed them.
I told Teal the other week, I was like, that's my claim to fame, that you sat by me in art class. I remember looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at what she's working on.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. It didn't rub off on me, but I sat by her in art class.
Oh, that's so cute. But that's a perfect example of we have so many that are making their living in the art world, in the design world, and all over, not just here in Columbus, but it's real exciting. So, so I do give credit to our art department for lighting that spark in so many people, and to see how it has continued and keep growing. So, they're doing magical stuff down there for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I know we talk a lot about our values here at Brookstone, and we have 7 core values. And I'm going to read them off so I don't leave them out. But we, start with the 3 that are on the crest: loyalty, courage, and wisdom. But over the years, we've added honor and service and respect and leadership. So, is there one that's particularly important to you? Is there one that resonates with you that you're so thrilled that we are imparting these to our children today?
I don't know. You might have to repeat them.
It's a big list. It's a big list. Loyalty, courage, wisdom, honor, service, respect, and leadership.
I don't know, all of them. I mean,
I know, really.
Yeah, I would say I'm a very loyal person. That speaks to me as, I work for, I don't even know if this ties to it, but I work for Sam Burkert, that's also a Brookstone alumni.
Yeah.
And he has been so good to me. He's a basis of, not many bosses would let you have other businesses
Right.
while you're still on their
Right.
their
Yes.
payroll. You know, and he, you know, he helped me start Park Place, and he has encouraged me to do all the coffee shop and the other locations that we have. And there's a lot of Atlanta companies that have tried to hire me away from him, but you know, loyalty is everything, and trusting, and
Right.
you know, and
Right.
you know, so I would definitely say loyalty is one of my values.
I love that.
But all the values of Brookstone, I want my kids
Right.
to grow up with all that.
Right.
So
I wholeheartedly
I think it's
agree.
great.
Yeah.
So that goes back to, it's like, I would have done anything to get my kids here, because this is how I want them to be raised and to be the one.
Right. I love that. Well, I agree. As a parent, you know, the world is just throwing so much at our kids today. And so that's one thing. We had Ann Parker in here not too long ago, and she was saying something similar, that by the time our kids leave here, by the time our kids graduate here, these values that have been poured into them for 12 years, however long they've been here, you know, they leave here and they're on a solid foundation.
Right.
And, you know, that's what we want for our graduates as we launch them into the world, into whatever career they're going to land.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could go back now and tell any of our students, but specifically thinking of our high schoolers now, something that you would want them to pay attention to here at Brookstone, to take advantage of. If you could give them any piece of wisdom, like don't miss this, or, you know, embrace this fully, what would it be? What would you say to our high schoolers?
Maybe don't be in such a hurry.
Oh, yeah. That's so
that's-
good. Yes.
If I could go back and slow it down, you know,
Yeah.
I would. Just don't rush to get to college, because then college will end. I mean, it's
Right.
just
Right.
don't take any moments for granted.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
It's so true. Because I do think we spend so much of our time looking at the next chapter or waiting for
Right.
the next chapter. And
it's
that's really
instinct, and you
good.
just need to slow down and, you know, have those bonds with your classmates, because to this day, my classmates are still my friends.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like that's never going away.
Yeah, that's really
So,
special.
yeah.
Well, what about you personally? Any advice that has stuck with you? Has anybody ever given you any advice that you're like, oh, that has resonated with me?
Gosh, I don't know. Someone said to me one time that, like, if you're making everybody happy, you're doing something wrong, because, you know, there's no way you can please everybody. And I've had to, you know, I take things so personally when I've been working on something. If someone's upset, it's not in your nature to be perfect, you know, and it's okay to make mistakes. And,
Right.
you know, you just have to learn from them, and it's all going to be okay.
Right. I know. We can all learn. I mean, that's how we continue to grow, is learn from
Right.
all
Learn
of
from
our
our mistakes.
experiences, for sure. Well, we are so excited for you and so grateful that you took the time to be with us this morning. We cannot wait for is it next Thursday? Next
Yes.
Thursday is the Distinguished Alumni Dinner. And so I'm going to put in our little show notes ways for people to get tickets, because it's really a great event. Every year, I am so struck by the vastness of the talent that our alumni have, and what they are doing to make our communities better. And you're part of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm honored to be next to you.
So we can't wait to hear you next Thursday. And I just thank you for being here, and congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.